Rod Diggs taught me something when I was with him in prison, man. And he told me, he said, man, in order for you to become the man you are, you can't avoid your past. Your past is who make you who you are. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is this, man. You want to talk about prison? I'll give you some shit about prison that don't got nothing to do with jail stories, man. Let's talk about the losses I lost, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about me losing my moms while I was in ADX. Let's talk about me losing my pops, my grandmother, my support system, because that's who raised me, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about me glorifying prison, because the one thing for sure and two for certain is when I came home, I realized I got a second chance. You know, I got a book coming out, Triple B's Bedroom Body Boys. You know, I also got my t-shirt line coming out because I was productive. Even though I might have been doing a lot of wild stuff, I was able to read, write, and concentrate and have a plan for when I came home. So what we're trying to tell people is this, man. Yeah, your trials and tribulations, you're going to go through that.
No. You know what I want you to do? I want you to dig in a little bit deeper, man, because you skip through that pain a little too fast, and people be sitting up there glorifying jail. Like, tell them niggas what you felt like, yo, what you really felt when you lost your moms, your pops, grams. Like let them know, like, yo,
right. Well,
that's everything.
The thing is this, right? Okay, first and foremost, let me explain this to you. I don't think nobody can understand my grief and pain because I was sitting in a box in ADX Supermax, and the chapel.
Hold up. What's some of the names that was in there with you? Because they don't understand. What is ADX, and who were some of the names that was there with you?
Okay, ADX Supermax is that's the Supermax jail for the highest criminals there. You had King Blood there. You had Lord Gino. You had Jeff Fort. You had Pistol Pete. You had Wayne Perry. You had It's so many people there, man. You want to talk about the ABs? I was on the AB tier with Tommy Silverstein. You know, I was there with Scotty Moe. It's just so many people there. It's like the names go forever, man.
How did you get to ADX?
Well, I got into a fight in MDC Brooklyn, man, and I hit a dude and knocked him out. He hit his head and cracked his head on the floor. To be honest with you, really, my intention wasn't to kill him or nothing, but he ended up dying. You know what I'm saying? So when he died,
so you caught a body in jail.
I caught a body in jail. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was charged with 116th, which is assault, which led to killing. Because see, the thing about the feds is there's no such thing as just a murder case in the feds. The only way they could charge you with murder is if you got murder for hire, RICO, or gang activity. And it was neither one of them type of situations. So that's how, you know what I'm saying, they couldn't charge me with murder. And when that happened, I ended up catching my charge, and I was like, okay, cool. I already just copped out to 235 months, which is 19 years and 7 months. So I feel like, you know, they put me in a box, separated me from everybody, 3-man hole with a lieutenant, and
you copped out to 19 years?
Yeah, I copped out. No, I blew trial. I blew trial. I blew trial to 19 years and 35 months.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And when I did that, a month later, that's when that situation happened and the body happened. You know what I'm saying? So right then and there, like, you know, you lose all hope at that point. I already got 19 years and 7 months. This nigga died. So I really didn't know the law like that. So now I'm thinking these niggas gonna roof me. You know what I'm saying? So I went through a depressive stage, you know what I'm saying? At that point, I get one phone call a month while I'm in the hole for 15 minutes. You know, so I'm trying to like get people to help me.
One phone call a month?
Yeah. One phone call a month. You know what I'm saying? I did that for like 4 years. So I got the ADX. Then I got 2 phone calls a month when I got the ADX. You know what I'm saying? And then there's levels to that when you get there, when you get to the step down program and all that. But I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna not even back up. Yeah, I'm gonna back up to the pain part, man, because my grandmother, I'm gonna start with her. My grandmother had custody of me since I was like 4. My moms and pops, you know, they was fighting their addictions at the time or whatever. So our relationship was good, but my grandmother raised me. And we had stopped talking while I was in prison for maybe like 7 or 8 years. And during that time, you know what I'm saying, my mom's passed away. So when my mom's passed away, the chaplain calls through the intercom, they tell me to come out to see the chaplain. And no, let me back up. Let me back up because I'm missing a big part of this shit. Me and my mom's was beefing. We didn't speak for 7 years because she came to a funeral high, to my grandmother's funeral, and I was upset about that on my father's side. So we ain't talking like 7 years. So when I came down for court, I was coming back down on the Johnson case to get back some time for my gun case. So when I came back down from court, she asked to come to my sentencing, and I told her no. And the reason why I told her no, because a lot of times when she come to court, she be high. And that's a represent, you know, courts look at all of that. But what I didn't know was she was dying. So I'm on a plane. They bring me back up to ADX and shit. I still don't know nothing, you know. So I just gave back my time. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling good. So they call me. They tell me, yo, Rodriguez, we got to crack your cell and come get you. I'm like, all right, cool. And they come crack my cell and get me. They bring me into this room. The chaplain is at the gate. He tell me my mom's passed away, call home. No, he told me my mom's is on her deathbed, call home. So I called my mom's. They gave me 15 minutes on the phone to call her. So I'm talking to my mom's, and, you know, at this point...
Hold up. They just told you that your mom's is on her deathbed and you only got 15 minutes?
15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, all the anger goes out that you was holding, the resentment and all, like, you know, that you feeling at the time, because now it's like, shit is real. Your mom's passing away. She about to die. So we had a nice little conversation. And the thing that she asked me to promise her was to help my sister with her kids. Because, you know, I'm the oldest sibling as far as my moms and pops. But I got older brothers, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, man, what am I supposed to do? I'm in jail. I still got another 7, 8 years to do left at this point. Because I still got to do the time consecutive for the body. Or I'd have been home right after that when I get the time back. So now I'm sitting there. I go back to my cell. I'm pondering. I'm not really grieving at this time because so much shit is in my mind. And I'm trying to figure out how I'm going, you know, step up and be the man I'm supposed to be to take care of my family. So now, about 3 weeks later, they call me again. Give me another phone call, and she passed away. So I'm talking to my sister. And as I'm talking to my sister, you know, we start talking about how can I help prepare the funeral. So they hung the phone up on me and told me that I can't talk about business on the phone. And I'm like, I'm not really talking about business. I'm talking about helping pay for my mom's funeral. You know, my family don't really got it at the time. And they say, yeah, you can't do that. So I go back to my cell. I'm angry. I'm mad, you know. But at the end of the day, I can't really get upset because my fight now is really to get home. I just gave back this time. I got 7 more years to do at the time. So I'm like, yo, I just got to stay strong. About 14 months later, my pops passed away. I'm in a step-down program now. So when he passed away, I'm like, God damn, like, shit. Bad luck all the way around the board, you know? So I had spoke to my pops right before he passed away. And I heard in his cough, he was going through something. So I'm like, yo, you all right? He like, yeah, I'm good. I think he knew he was dying. He just didn't want to tell me. You know what I'm saying? So when he passed away, I'm like, damn, I just spoke to him like 3 weeks ago. Why he ain't say nothing? So, you know, I'm like, all right, cool. All of a sudden, when he passed away, I get the 15-minute phone call. Because now he's dead. So I really don't get a 15-minute on his deathbed. I get the 15 minutes just for him being dead. So we vibing on that. And I'm like, yo, man, everybody's telling me to hold my head. I'm like, hold my head. Like, I just lost my moms and my pops within a year apart. Like, what you want me to hold my head for? You know what I'm saying? So I'm fighting these demons inside now in my head because I'm saying to myself.
At the time, you were in the box.
Yeah, I'm an ADX at the time. Yeah. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, damn, man, like, God, you blessed me and gave me my time back, but then you took the two people in my life, my moms and my pops. Like, so I was kind of like confused with a lot of things. So I'll never forget this. When I was going to trial, Rod Diggs, I was going through a down point during my trial, and he was like, yo, bro, no matter what you're going through, always look in that mirror, remind yourself you still that nigga, no matter what, bro. And that's what I did. I looked in the mirror. I said, man, you know what? Man, fuck this, man. My mom's passed away. My pops passed away. Fuck wilding out. I got to leave a legacy for my family now. So I start thinking of all my little business plans. I come out ADX. I'm sitting there. I'm like, damn, what I'm going to do? So I started writing the book. That's how I started writing the book, Triple B's Bedroom Body Boys. So I said, if I die tomorrow, what would be my legacy? So I wanted to have something to leave back. So I started writing a book. I wrote the book, started putting my business plans together. And through trials and tribulations, during adversity, that's when you know what a man is really built on. It's his character. So I started fighting, and I just said, you know what, man, I owe this to my family. I owe this to myself to come home and be productive. So yeah, when we talk about jail stories, it's not
Well,
glorifying
hold on,
prison.
because I want them to understand something. When you lost your moms and pops, how many years you already had in the box?
I lost them at 17 and 18. I had 9 years when I lost my moms and 10 when I lost my pops.
You had 10 years in jail or in the box?
In the box.
You had 10 years in the box?
I did 10 years in ADX. Well, I did 4 years. I did 6 years in ADX and 4 years waiting to go to ADX in the box. You know what I'm saying? So, and then they gave me 7 years consecutive on top of my time. So
You gave that time back though, right?
Yeah, I gave 10 years. I gave 9 years and 7 months back on the armed career on the Johnson case. And you know what I'm saying? That's how I came home in 2022, June. So this is the steps that I had to take. Like all that energy, instead of being negative, I was putting into my pill and getting home. You know what I'm saying? Just so I could come home and be productive for my family. So it broke me. Don't get me wrong. That was the bit that broke me. You know, the most scariest thing in my eyes was being 45 years old, coming home from prison, and that was a blessing because I wasn't supposed to be home to 2032 to be exact. You know what I'm saying? And I had to start thinking like, yo, I don't even got a life bid. What the fuck is you in here doing? Why are you doing all this shit? These niggas was life biz. They fight for certain things. But again, I gave more loyalty to niggas in jail than I gave to my own family. So I had to realize, man, the growth to say, yo, you know what, man? I'm done. I'm done with this, man. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, the way I came in is the way I left honorable. And what I mean by that, I didn't tell on nobody. You know what I'm saying? I ain't give nobody up nothing to come home in. I stood my ground all the way till I walked out. And when I came home, I just said, you know what, man? It's done. I'm over. And the crazy thing about it, even to this day, it's a struggle, man. You know, I'm on house arrest, home confinement, and all that. Like, you know, and I come out, smoke my little cigarette, go back inside, chill. And I'm always trying to do something productive. So when you sit down and you see me, you know what I'm saying, talking about jail, it's not to glorify, homie. I hate jail. Let's get that straight, man. I hate a person telling me what to do, when to do it. You know, I wasn't fortunate enough to have no girl on and do bids with me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't get visits like that. And everywhere I went, I was away from New York. I've been in Florida. I've been in Colorado, West Virginia. You know, they ain't never keep me close to home where my people come up. So at the end of the day, all I had was me. You know, so when you sit back here talking about people glorifying jail, nah, homie, the message is to be real with you, to stay out of jail. You know what I'm saying? My little cousin Melly Baller right now, locked up behind bars with life and some change. And me and him talk, you know what I'm saying? I always explain to him like, yo, bro, don't let that break you, because the one thing that's good about the feds is these laws change.
Let
You
me
gotta
ask
stay
you a
on top of
question.
your job.
What would Rod Diggs say to the young brothers right now? If he could talk to them, what would Rod Diggs say to them?
You know what's so crazy? Because I think a lot of people got a misperception of Rod Diggs. Rod Diggs is like a Tupac. He's more of a revolutionary than a gangster. And I don't mean no disrespect, and I don't want nobody to take this the wrong way, man. Rod Diggs was about uplifting his peoples, man.
Rod Diggs is dope.
Him, Tyson from Sex Money Murder, like, those was brothers that was a little younger than us. They came through in like 97 when we was on the island. You know what I'm saying? When we left the island and all that. But those brothers were strong individuals, man. They had different mindsets. They was into the Black history. Rod Diggs was for the peoples. He got a bad deal, man. And they used his music against him. Me and him had conversations like, if it was up to Rod Diggs, the music he was making, he wouldn't even make. He wanted to be a LL Cool J nigga, B. Like, this is what he told me out his mouth. He like, yo, bro, I would have did music for the bros, man. I'd have been licking my lips and all that, nigga, on my fly shit. You know what I'm saying? That was Diggs, bro. Like, you know, on some real shit, bro. Like, people get, it's crazy because the environment that you come from, we adapt. And that's all he was doing, was adapting and trying to figure it out, man. And when you're trying to figure this out and make that you know, that what's the word I'm looking for, man? Transition in life, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard, man, because it's like you don't got the ends, you don't got the funds, but the dudes that you're dealing with, your mans and them is still in the streets. So they supporting you and they doing things to help you. You know what I'm saying? And that's like most of these artists. Most of these artists ain't in the streets. It's the people behind them. You know what I'm saying? That's in the streets. And they supporting them. So now it's like, okay, I'm doing positive things, but how do I leave my mans and them behind? So he got caught up in shit like that. Now, not to say that he probably didn't do what he did. Boy put his work in. I don't take nothing from him. But I don't believe Rod Diggs wanted to be a street nigga. You know, and you can look at it, if you know anything about Rod Diggs, he LLC'd his own company, Vanguard Records. You know what I'm saying? He's in transition at that point, dealing with Waka Flocka, dealing with Uncle Murder, dealing with K Slay, like Vado. All these dudes he was dealing with, he was making a transition. All of them was making transitions. Uncle Murder at that time, Vado, you know what I'm saying?
Hold up. Somebody just asked a question. I think I need you to answer that. They said, how is the state different from the feds?
Well, the state is more physical and the feds is more mental, man. And what I mean by that is, okay, in the state, you can plead out. They give you things to plead out to. And the pleas that we take, we think we're winning at the time. But when you come to the feds, what happens is they use all those plea agreements against you that you pleaded out, them 30 days, those 6 months pleads, or whatever you was doing, and then they turn around and enhance you in the feds. So they break you with the time they give you. That's mental shit. Like, when you go to the state and get sentenced, they say you copping out to 5 to 10. The feds don't do that. They like, you got 120 months. You got 560 months. You thinking months. You're not even adding that shit up in your head when they say months.
So what you trying to say is, right, and what y'all need to understand is about the feds, right? In the state, they got something called double jeopardy, where if you beat a homicide, they can't charge you again. You could actually sit up there and say, yeah, I killed that nigga after you beat the case. In the feds,
you can't do that.
You could beat that case, and the feds could come and get you and charge you all over again. In the state, you could beat a gun, and as soon as you beat it in the state, the feds will pick you up and charge you for that same gun all over again and find a way to convict you. In the state, right? In the state, you pretty much dealing with different gangs running the state. It's like
see, the thing about that, this in the feds, everything is ran by gangs and geographic. They got cars, whether it's the blood car, Trick car, the New York car, the DC car. So it's more politics when it comes to that. When something goes, it's going to go just for that reason. Most of the time, it ain't even a fight against a different card. Dudes will jump in before it gets to that serious. But if it go there, oh, it's just lit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to give them a better example for those that know the homie BT. BT beat a body in the state and then came home to the feds. Came home and then the feds picked it up. They couldn't really get him on the body, so they hit him with 10 years for the drugs. But then when the witness popped up, they recharged him in the state for that. You know what I'm saying? And these are the games they play. So it's like, if the state can't get you, they try to push it to the feds. And for all y'all don't know, gun charges. If you got one felony with a gun, that means if you went upstate and committed a felony and you was charged with it, the feds is automatically picking that up. Automatically. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a felon with a possession. That's the only way the feds could pick their own case up on a gun charge. So if you never had a gun charge and never had a felony, then you could do state time. You see what I'm saying? Now, recently, the feds, because it got so crowded, they haven't been picking them up like that. They've been letting the state deal with them. So now but the state is giving the same time out, 5 to 10. Ain't no more 8 months. No, I remember they supposed 3 to 7. Them days is over with. And a lot of these young dudes out here don't understand that they not getting us, you know what I'm saying, because of the fact that we don't we in the streets doing what we do. We don't even know the laws. We don't understand the rules that's being set for us. So you making these plea agreements, you get caught laundering, you get caught with a blunt. Well, now the weed thing is illegal, but before it's like you get caught with a blunt, you go through the bookings, they slap you with a little misdemeanor, whatever, let you out. Oh, you get to the feds, they charging you, they giving you a point for that. You caught a misdemeanor. That enhances your sentencing, your guidelines. You see what I'm saying?
So basically, what you said is, when you get to the feds, whatever you've been arrested for in the past in the state, you get punished for all over again in the feds.
Yes.
Well, now you have it. That's the difference between the feds. But one thing about the feds that's different from the states is that you get locked up in the feds and you think you the illest nigga, you might find yourself in California where them niggas don't like you.
Now that's big facts. That's big facts. Like, I ain't gonna lie, man. Cali carry is so different out there. It's different, man. Like, shout out, man, because there was a few homies from New York that went and put on out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to X from Bronx River. Shout out to Face from Uptown. Shout out to Preem. And you know what I'm saying? Cause shout out to the big homie Chuck from Brooklyn. Like, them dudes went out there and they held New York down, man. And don't get it twisted, man. The blood card's big, but when they get in them situations, they jump on New York time, man. They still be bloods, but they be on a New York shit, man. Because the thing about it, New York got to stick together. New York got to stick together because it might be 10, 20 New York dudes in the Cali jail. And the Bloods and Crips will carry you out there. Yeah. So don't believe the hype when they be talking about, oh, I was just putting on by my... Nah. You had New York dudes backing them up and vice versa, man. Vice versa, because you got some stand-up blood dudes that wasn't going for shit neither. And when New York homies came through, they was letting they nuts. Nah, bro, you ain't doing nothing to them. You from New York. Like, so, you know, we do got good men. And one thing about the feds, that paperwork is serious. If you can't walk that yard unless your paperwork clear, man. I don't care who you are. I don't give a fuck how tough you is, how much a gun go off. You know what I'm saying? If that shit ain't right, you off that yard, man. They got hitters just for that, man. So miss me with all that other shit. Niggas, they ain't
so basically, if you're a rat, the first thing they do in a state is they check your paperwork to say, okay, let me see who this cat is if he's telling. And if you can't produce that paperwork, then you got to check in the PC.
You talking about the state or the feds?
In the state, you got to check in the PC,
Well, the
right?
funny thing is, I was in the state. Dudes don't check paperwork in the state like that.
Nah,
They
the
really
feds, they
don't.
do though.
The feds, they do, not in the state. Because everybody know each other. So usually, niggas get right on their homie time in the state. The feds, niggas don't give a fuck who know you. That homie shit is out the window, bro. That paperwork got to come out. That paperwork didn't come out, niggas on your line. Hey, yo, bro, showed you his paperwork yet? Nah. Yo, he showed you? Nah. I said, man, yeah, all right. Well, go ask that nigga when he gonna produce that work. He been here 30 days. Like, what's up with his work? Where he came from? Oh, my lawyer didn't send it yet. All right, no problem. We gonna come on. Go on the show with such and such. He gonna write the letter to your lawyer and all that. Boom, mail that out. You know what I'm saying? Dudes get on Pacer and all that shit. Like, niggas is not playing, bro.
Yeah, hold up. So you
Niggas,
mean to tell me a nigga gonna pull up in your cell and write a letter for you to get your paperwork? They that serious? Like we gonna know if
yeah.
you told. Ain't no outposts in here.
You get them, they slip through the cracks. They slip through the cracks. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? You hear stories about dudes that had the car that was hot, but it's always somebody to come through and be like, yo, that nigga hot. He might have left the jail. He might leave the jail. Next spot he go to, nigga sending that kite. Like, yo, bro, boy was hot. He slipped through the cracks. Like, get on his line when you get over there, man. Because there's a vice versa. Like, see, the thing about it is, ain't no such thing as I'm not putting that in. When your number's called, it's called. You know what I'm saying? You got dudes that live for that shit. That's miserable because niggas told on them. So they not going for that shit. So they own it. What? He did
Yeah.
what?
So let me ask you a question, right?
Uh-huh.
Sure. What you think will happen to Charleston White if he go to jail?
I don't know Charleston White, right? Like, well, all this that I see on social media
Nigga, he
with him.
telling. He
Yeah, but I'm
straight up
saying,
telling.
well, I heard him say that, right?
Nigga straight, yo, listen. The nigga Charleston White, yo, I can't even front. That nigga be having me crying. That nigga said he pull up to certain blocks. Like, yeah, officer, his stash right there. He got some lean, he got some Molly, he got some Xanax. Yeah. And he
Oh,
had
it's
to the
over.
police.
It's over. Like, nigga like him, he ain't even making it to the yard. They gonna put him right on the dropout yard. You know what I'm saying? Because when he go in, he gonna tell him, yo, bro, I can't walk this yard. Where you from again? The South, right?
Texas.
Oh, yeah. Texas is one of them states that really go hard over hot niggas. So when he pull up in them spots and being the name that he got, dude's gonna be on their line. Even like the thing about this internet shit and people fail to realize is people seeing you all around the world. So it might be a nigga from South Carolina that seen the shit and be like, yo, that's that nigga Charleston White. Yo, he hot. They gonna go to your car like, yo, boy hot. He can't come up in here. Not in this unit. But before he told them niggas, he done told the whole unit. He done told the gangs and everything. They gonna be like, what? Yeah, man, that's Charleston White, man. He told, boom. They gonna go right online, punch his name up, because you got the law library computers in the units. The cases pop up. He ain't gonna make it through the door. They gonna tell him, yo, bro, exit left, man. Keep going. Lieutenant's office. Oh, you ain't going? All right, no problem. They gonna carry that nigga out there, man. They gonna whip him right there, man. Ain't no situation where we talking about this. Isn't because now everybody's looking at your car. Everybody's looking at your car. You got this hot nigga walking up, man. Fuck that, man. They gonna try to carry your car and all that, man. I done seen it done, man. And them DC boys ain't playing with that shit. They look for any excuse to carry a nigga, man.
Yo, the DC boys, they saying the DC boys ain't feeling New York at all because of
That's
Outpost.
bullshit. That's bullshit, man. That's bullshit. Like, I got niggas to this day from Baltimore and DC that hit my phone, man, from jail.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like the thing is, they always gonna throw Alpo up in there. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, man, I talked to Wayne Perry personally. And Wayne Perry told me this out of his mouth, man. He said, yo, man, if Alpo was to walk some of these yards, these niggas would be scared. He ain't no sucker. He ain't no bitch. That's what people fail to realize. Alpo was Wayne Perry for New York before he told. You know what I'm saying? He was a hitter. So that's an automatic instance that a nigga got when he in prison. Some things never leave you, man. A hitter is always going to be a hitter, no matter if he hot or not. He going to detect danger and he going to strike. What makes it bad about it is I call them sewer rats, because them niggas that hit you, or if they get hit, then they going to tell. So like you losing either way with this shit. You see what I'm saying? Alpo was just smart not to come to population. New York niggas would have hit Alpo, man. New York niggas would have hit Alpo, man. That's the reason why OG Mac don't come out from population. He could have came out of ADX. He busted a nigga on from Baltimore just so he wouldn't come out of ADX.
Yeah, I heard OG Mac tore something up.
It wasn't even that serious, bro. I was there. It wasn't that serious, man. Like he got busy. Don't get me wrong, boy. He didn't. It wasn't one of them Brackers Allen exclusive movies, homie.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It was he got the nigga nicely. They jumped him. You know what I'm saying? But he knew what it was. The paperwork came out on him, and that was that. Once the paperwork came out, niggas knew what it was. And I'm trying to remember the kid that he hit. He had a big name in on Baltimore. I want to say AJ or something like that. AJ Johnson. I can't remember the nigga name. He's an official dude. And really, the story with that was AJ. Him and Mac knew each other from the streets. That's the crazy shit, because Mac was in Baltimore at one point.
What did OG Mac tell on? Who did he tell? Like, how old was he when he told? Like, was it something that happened when he was a kid?
Before he started Bloods, he told on a homicide. You know what I'm saying? And he told on a homicide, and he was an adolescent at the time. They was taking him to the DA office, and inside the DA office, they was giving him conjugal visits. You know what I'm saying, with his girl and all that. So he told, I forgot the kid name, but what I could do is get the paperwork, because it's in the library. It ain't hard to pull that up. You know what I'm saying? But he told on the dude on a homicide, and that's what basically got him back home. Then when he came back through in 93, he started the Bloods. Nobody knew about it at that time. It was speculation back in like 98, right before he went home. That's when it started coming out. But when he got to the feds, everything came out. He tried to recant his statement and take it back and try to free the dude to go home to clear his name. And then they put in an article, they couldn't trust, they put in his paperwork, they couldn't trust him because he lied to them once. So he might lie again, just, you know what I'm saying, to clear his name.
Wow.
So they rejected it. But I think Duke came home from that. Duke came home.
My whole thing is like this, right? He was what, like 17 years old when he told?
Yeah.
And they punishing him for what he told at 17 as an adult? Like, no forgiveness? Like, yo, he was a kid? No mercy? Once a rat, always a rat?
Well, you know, it's crazy because there was another situation with a kid. He told when he was 13. And dude just punishing him for that. What dudes are saying is...
You 13, I can forgive you.
What they're saying is basically he was in the streets and he knew what he was doing at that time.
At 13, right? You never know what you're doing. Well, you know what's crazy? See, what I don't like is people don't even understand. Most black men, because of the pain and the trauma we go through, you don't even fully develop until you like 26. But they expect you to be a man at 13. Hold on, let me get water. You can't punish a man for what he do at 13 years old. You can't. You're not a man at 13 years old. There's forgiveness at 13. Now, when you say a nigga 30 years old, nigga, you was fully grown. At 13 years old, even, yo, sometimes even at 21 years old, it's like, yo, what was I thinking? If I can have a conversation with the 21-year-old version of me now, I would disagree with everything I did at 21.
But see, okay, and you know, that's the mature side of you. But the thing is, like, okay, dudes is in gangs. So this is the gang culture for them. You see what I'm saying? This is the gang culture for them. So you talking about people that's on gang time, that's living by gang rules. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Me personally, like, I don't agree with it. But at the same token, like, even when I was in prison, I used to tell dudes, like, yo, man, majority vote. And that's just basically my thing was, like, you know, whatever the majority say, I'm cool with it. But then we might have another discussion on how he gonna leave, whether they're gonna stab him or just let him walk up. Most of the times they just tell you to walk up, you heard?
Right.
But some dudes pride get in the way. They like, yo, bro, I ain't leaving or whatever. Now you force them to do what they gotta do. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But, you know, it's a double sword with this shit, bro. It's a double sword, man, because a lot of times, man, to me, when a kid come in at 13, 17, now you talking about he an adult now, though, on something he did. You see what I'm saying? So dudes look for any reason, especially if they don't like you, to get you up out of there. That shit is nothing but politics, bro. And really, if you ask any nigga that been in the Fed, they're gonna call it politics, because the nigga would trick you out your life in this shit. So you got these dudes coming in, they was hitters in the streets. They was hitters. Yeah, they did something that they told at 13, but when they got in the street, they was really active. So now you got dirt on your name, bro. So now they got a reason to get at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you gonna tell a person that got 3-6 life sentences because niggas told on him? You think he gonna have mercy for him?
Nope.
That's my point. And those are most of the niggas that's running the yards. So he don't get that fair trial. You know what I'm saying? Because in their mind, you got dudes that was 16, 17, 18, 19 committing them same crimes and didn't tell and held it down. So if he held it down at 13, 14, 15, and 16, what's the difference?
Now, you know what? I just feel like at some point in time, we got to create a council to counsel our young men and re-educate and rehabilitate all our young men from the things that we was poisoned. Because the reality of it is like, when I look at the streets, right? We walked around with our chest stuck out, and we had a badge of honor. And it was like, when you really, really sit back and you ask, like, yo, what the hell was we fighting for?
Well, see, this is the thing, man. This is the thing, Poppy. You got to always understand, right? The era that we came up in, we was misled. People glorified jail for real. When they came off the island, they told these stories. Yo, bro, you just got to yap a nigga. I was doing this, I was doing that. And half of them niggas wasn't even doing that shit. They was sitting back and telling other niggas stories.
Okay, so they saying this live is getting ready to cut off. We got 22 seconds remaining. So we're going to do a part 2 because it's going to cut off at 18 seconds. Damn.
All right. Peace, brothers. Love y'all, man.